Hello from Sheffield. I'm outside Cathedral, and Cathedral Tram Stop is just behind me here, which means it's time to do some exploring of the Sheffield Supertram. But I'm not alone today. I'm joined by two friends, Willow and Ewan. So without further ado, let's explore the Sheffield Supertram. So Cathedral Tram Stop, which is behind me here, opened in 1995 and is actually the start of the city centre stretch of the tram network, which is served by all four of the lines all the way through to Fitzallen Square, where then you go over the bridge and it diverts at Park Square, where one branch branches off to Meadowhall and Rotherham, and one branches off to Halfway and Herders Park. I'll be covering the remaining three city centre tram stops in a later video. So without further ado, let's head to the next stop, which is Cricketing Road.
The next stop will be Castle Square.
Okay, this tram's a bit lost, as the DMIs think the next stop is Leppings Lane, and also it seems that the onboard announcements have decided to start breaking, if the driver's now making manual announcements, not to mention that the ones that work, well, don't work.
The next stop will be Fitzallen Square, Ponsford. Passengers travelling towards Halfway or Herders Park should change at this stop. This is the Yellow Route service, bound for Meadowhall interchange.
So here we are at Cricketing Road, which is the next stop. And well, it's a bit of an interesting stop, isn't it, Ewan?
It is, yes. Around here in the area, generally there's not too much. There's a matter line, a couple of shops. But sometimes you may occasionally see trams terminating at the stop. They'll say, this is X route to Cricketing Road. Because trams will terminate at the stop if they're heading offwards into the depot during the early mornings or the late evenings when they're going out to service. And next week, when the engineering in the city centre are taking place, all the Purple Line trams will be terminating it here. So yeah, if you want something to see, then next week when the engineering is taking place, then come and see that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it, Ewan?
Yes.
So I think, let's have a little recce around here. So, since I last filmed the video back in January on the Supertram network, a lot of things have changed. It's celebrated its 30th anniversary, it's transferred ownership to South Yorkshire from Stagecoach Supertram, and well, let's say a lot of track have basically been falling apart, hence why you mentioned about the city centre engineering works coming up, which is in about 2 or 3 days from when I'm filming this. So, I may also cover a video covering the new green route that's also going to be in service for about 2 weeks. So I'm back here at Cricketing Road 1 week later, and today we're riding the green route, and well, Ewan's got something interesting to say about it, haven't you?
So yes, this green route tram, it's only a temporary route, only running for this week while the engineering work is taking place in the city centre. And there's a Delta junction, it's called Park Square Junction. Delta junction where trams can go all three ways. But trams very, very rarely uses the bit of track that goes between Hyde Park direct to Sheffield Station, which is what the green route trams are using. But I do wish that more trams would use it, because it would be a really, really useful connection if you're going from Meadowhall to Halfway or to Hernings Park or down that way, rather than having to change either in the city centre where it's more crowded and a bit annoying. So it would really, really be useful. So if anyone from Supertram is listening or watching to this, please can you put a regular service on that curved track? It would really, really make a lot of regular commuters in Supertram days much better.
Yeah, definitely. So I think it's time to go and ride what is possibly the rarest journey you can take on Supertram at the moment. So let's go.
Let's go.
Stop by request will be
Sheffield Station for Sheffield Hallam University.
Welcome to Supertram. This is the Green Route service to Halfway. Due to rail replacement works, this service will not serve the city centre. Customers for the city centre should change at Sheffield Station to connect with bus replacement services. Hold tight, please.
So the eagle-eyed among you may notice that the announcements seem to be a bit mismatched, as they seem to be using the purple routes voice, which is used on the Tram-Train, alongside the new voice. Also, apparently the trams are being fitted with trackers, so the passenger information screens at the Tram Stops can actually show real-time information of where the tram is on the network, as opposed to the scheduled timings that currently show on the displays, which 9 out of 10 times aren't true timings. But the good news is that they can then be tracked on the new TSY app, which is a bit mundane at the moment, but hopefully it gets better with time. At the time I was filming the Green Route service, which was in operation from the 25th of May to the 3rd of June 2024, essentially combines the blue route from Sheffield Station to Halfway and the yellow route from Hyde Park to Meadowhall interchange, with the connection from Sheffield Station to Hyde Park using the northern section of the Delta Junction at Park Square, with the city centre section closed from Park Square Junction to the University for West End Hospitals for rail replacement works, and Netherthorpe Road is also closed for refurbishment works. However, the trams are prevented from entering the site at just 4 traffic cones. I also assume that the tracks have been locked, as well we northerners love nicking cones. Anyway, I also believe that 3 or 4 trams are also stuck on the other side due to the 10-day closure, so God forbid them do webs don't break down, otherwise pretty much the west of Sheffield really doesn't get any tram service. So now I'm here at Sheffield Station, and don't worry, I'm not doing Sheffield Station in this episode, but that was the very rare bit of track on the Green Road that is running at the moment. So anyway, let's cut back to past me at Cricketing Road. So that's quite interesting, and also there is a new logo as well, which is quite interesting. So I think without further ado, let's head to our next stop, which is Woodbourn Road. As we pass through Nunnery Square Depot, you might notice that it's looking a little bit different, following the transfer from Stagecoach to South Yorkshire Supertram. So, anyway, on to Woodbourn Road. So here we are at the next stop, which is Woodbourn Road, and it's a very interesting stop for a few reasons, isn't it, Ewan?
It is, yes. Not too far up the road, just up that way, is the RSPCA Sheffield Centre. So I've been there a couple of times before when I went to go collect my pet rabbit. So yeah, if you want to go buy a animal, there's a place to do that here.
Yeah. And, Willow, what's your actual thoughts on the Supertram? Because you're a southerner, aren't you?
Wouldn't put it that far, but as someone who's been on pretty much every light rail system in the UK, and obviously I do live in London, and I do go on the Croydon trams a lot, I can give a bit of perspective here. I like the Supertram. Yes, the trains were a bit dated, but I think that gives it a bit of a charm. But it's good that they're going to be replaced soon. I think my main complaint is there's no benches at the stations, and that's a problem since the Supertram is not as frequent as, say, other tram networks in the UK. So not having benches at stations, especially for some people who may have reduced mobility or be unable to stand for long periods of time, that could be a problem.
Yeah, definitely. So, there is one interesting thing about Woodbourn Road, and it seems to be the epicentre of where a lot of trams and cars tend to meet fate. So, let's just head down there and I'll explain this a bit more. Down the road from Woodbourn Road Tram Stop just to this intersection here on Stamford Road. Oh, hi Willow.
Hello.
And it seems to be a bit of a area of Sheffield which is prone to having trams and cars, well, let's say, meet its unfortunate fate. Isn't that right, Willow?
Yes, so on the day that the Tram-Train section opened, there was a collision between a tram and a lorry, and this was because of a faulty signal where it said proceed for both sides, so that meant the tram train was closed for the rest of the day. But yeah, another thing I'd like to point out is this is just a general lesson to anyone who drives a car, because there seems to be increasing cases of this, specifically in the US. I don't know why, but when you see the flashing lights, when you hear the horn, when you hear the screech of the train, stop the car.
Yeah. So I think, well, let's just say this is not the first time we've recorded this segment because someone forgot to send the microphone on. So I think what we're going to do is head to Woodbourn Road and get the tram to our next stop, which is
Ikea.
No, it ain't. It's Arena Olympic Legacy Park. However, by no surprise, over a month later, the same thing happened again. But this time, a car crashed with a tram. Oh dear.
Guys, it says Yell Meadow Hall. 3, 2, 1, Meadow Hall!
Bloody lunatic. As we pass through Attica, you may notice there's new tram shelters on each side of the platform. This is also the same Arena Olympic Legacy Park as well. So, anyway, let's keep going to Arena. So here we are at the next stop, which is Arena Olympic Legacy Park, and well, let's say between the last stop and this stop, the microphone has decided to pack up for good, so we're going to have to just do without it for the rest of this episode. But one thing to learn is, never give the microphone to Willow, because she will basically break everything. Speaking of the devil. Welcome to another edition of The Seat Review with Willow.
Yes, so hello, this is the first episode of Willow's seat review on Jack's channel. And yes, so finally we've got seats at a Supertram station. Now the question is, are they any good? Well, the simple answer is no. And this is why. Where are you supposed to put your bum? Where are you supposed to put your bum, exactly? They're not very comfortable. Essentially, anti-homeless architecture has gone way too over the top. Like, it doesn't need to be this bad. Like, it is very difficult to comfortably sit on these seats, and they are not suitable for the wait times you'd be getting at these sort of stations.
Oh yeah, can we also address the fact there is a glass panel missing behind you as well?
Yeah, average Sheffield.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was Willow's seat review, and I'll see you when I can regain my balance.
So Ewan's got something interesting to say about Arena Olympic Legacy Park, haven't you, Ewan?
Yes, so welcome to Arena Olympic Legacy Park. Now you might notice that the platforms here aren't very long. In fact, they can actually hold a double dual set, so a 6-car tram. And I believe the plan when the system was first being constructed was to run a double set to Arena during event days in the Arena and to get more people on the tram, which, yeah, it's good, get more people using the tram. But we can't mention this stop without mentioning its former name, which is Arena Don Valley Stadium. Because there was around here as well the Don Valley Stadium, which closed in 2013, and since then has been redeveloped into a bunch of other things. There's now a UTC campus here, there's a original playing field, there's a big sporting area around here. And talking sport, there is also the Sheffield Institute of Sport, a big sporting venue, huge indoor facility where athletes such as Jessica Ennis-Hill from the Olympics has done their training. So yeah, very interesting place.
Can we go to Ikea now?
I suppose so. So let's go to the next stop, which is Carbrook for Ikea.
Let's go! Let's go! Meatballs!
Thank you.
So here we are at the next stop, which is Carbrook for Ikea, and I believe it's the only stop in the country where it actually says Carbrook for a certain shop. Well, speaking of Ikea, it's a certain blue warehouse, and if you remember, in the episode when I was at Steer the Bridge in Ashton, I ended up at Ikea. Well, let's just say, I feel like that's going to happen again, because there's two certain people behind the camera that really want some meatballs.
Meatballs!
Meatballs! Meatballs! I think we should go and get some meatballs.
Wait a minute, that's not meatballs. Where are the meatballs? Give me the meatballs. Meatballs! Meatballs! Entrance! Entrance!
Side problem is, Willow's lost a tram ticket in Ikea.
Meatballs.
Actually, before I forget, in 2022, TfL Transport for London seems still a bit broke, so they decided to put Ikea markers all over the tube map at the tube stops closest to the Ikeas. Frankly, this isn't there anymore. So now back at Carbrook for Ikea after them two took me on an adventure into Ikea to get some meatballs, which I'll admit were really lovely. Anyway, meatballs aside, let's head onto the Tram-Train section up to Rotherham Parkgate and Rotherham Central. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cut to some B-roll of me explaining how the Tram-Train became a thing and how it all basically works, because to be honest, it is a little bit complicated. So let's cut to future me. The initial plans for the tram-train service were proposed in the mid-2000s, with plans to extend it to Huddersfield, Barnsley and Doncaster. However, it was only approved to run to Rotherham, where it's supposed to open in 2015. But in the end it started fully on the 26th of October 2018, the day after the tram-train collided with a lorry at Woodbourn Road on the 25th. Not to say the 399s have had issues as well. I'll explain that a bit later.
Carbrook for Ikea. This is the tram-train service.
So for those who might not know, that the tram-train runs from Cathedral to Rotherham Parkgate, with it running alongside the Yellow Line from Cathedral to Tinsley.
Meadowhall South. Leave the tram-train here for Meadowhall shopping and Meadowhall interchange. This tram-train continues to Rotherham Parkgate. This is the tram-train service to Parkgate.
From there it leads the tram network on a tight curve or track under the Tinsley Viaduct, where it changes its signalling to run on the National Rail network at this stage. The tight curve is also believed to be a safety feature that stops heavy rail trains entering the tram system, as the cause here will basically derail the train. Shortly after the cord will then change its power systems from the Supertram's 750 volt DC overhead power to the National Rail's 25 kV AC overhead power. Next time you're on a tram train heading to Rotherham or back into town, you can actually hear the power changing. So anyway, let's head up to Rotherham. Before we reach Rotherham Central, we'll be passing through the site of a new tram-train stop at the Magna Science Centre, which has been approved with construction to start soon. So anyway, before we reach Rotherham Central, I'll quickly explain some of the problems with the 399s. Well, let's say the more technical faults, as with any new train nowadays in this country. When being into service, they don't seem to be working, so there's been several cases where they've been taken out of service, which has meant the tram-train line has had to close. Anyway, at this point we now be joining alongside the line that comes up from Meadowhall on the National Rail network into Rotherham Central.
The tram-train service to Parkgate. The next stop by request will be Rotherham Central.
So we finally made it to Rotherham Central, and it's a very interesting station because actually we're not on the tram network anymore, we're actually on the National Rail network, and I'm going to let Ewan explain something interesting.
Yes, so welcome to Rotherham Central, as Jack just explained. As you can see, there are 4 platforms here. Platform 1 and 2, which are for the mainline trains, and 3 and 4 here for the tram trains, because they have a lower floor. And this is a very, very unique station. It's the only one of its kind in the UK. And that is where tram and train physically share track. Physically. The only station in the UK, because Parkgate does up the line, is tram only. So this is the only one in the UK where you have tram and train running on the exact same track.
Yes, and also, as a first for this episode, and probably the only time this has ever featured on the Supertram network,
Is actual physical,
Actually physically good seats, yes.
Which is-
well-designed seats. Thank you, Northern, for forcing them to put well-designed seats here.
yeah.
Yes.
Unlike when was problem at Woodbourn Road.
Yeah, Woodbourn Road and
Or was it like Arena? I can't remember.
Yeah,
It's been a long day. We've had meatballs since.
yeah, we've forgotten about that.
Yeah, we're in meatball coma. Anyway, let's have a quick recce around Rotherham Central before we head up to Rotherham Parkgate.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Hello and welcome to Ewan's edition of Do the Lift to Rotherham Central Sell Like Wee Wee.
It turns out they do.
They smell like wee wee. Goodbye.
Welcome to another edition of the Seat Review with Willow.
Hello, welcome to Willow's Seat Reviews. Today we're reviewing these lovely seats at Rotherham Central Station.
Yes, comes a rather exquisite chair, isn't it? Yes.
Anyway, so on with the very solidly and structurally sound seats. So we've got nice armrests for a good level of comfort. These are good armrests. Yeah, sturdy, solid. We've got the seats. Solid, well designed, sturdy and well attached. And the ergonomics are good. You can lean back and it's quite comfortable. The seats themselves are quite hard, but that doesn't matter since the ergonomics make it quite a comfortable seat. And of course, you always love a seat that is really sturdy and well designed. Anyway, that is the Willow seat review, and I will see you in the next Willow seat review. Right, so if you watch my channel, you know we like to explore the different areas and have a look around places. And after having a look around this place, I can confirm that there is nothing here. Let's go.
Right, so as our tram comes in, we're going to head to Rotherham Parkgate. And anything else you want to say, Ewan?
Yeah. You might have heard, but the announcements here still refer to it as Stagecoach Supertram. Might want to get that sorted, Northern.
Tram-Train service to Parkgate.
The interesting thing on the tram trains is you can actually call for the doors to open automatically, which is very much similar to the Metrolink, which is quite cool. Anyway, I filmed it in slow-mo at Rotherham Central, so we're finally here at Rotherham Parkgate. Right. Right, we finally reached Rotherham Parkgate, which is the last stop in this episode. Oh, for goodness sake.
My favourite YouTube series, for goodness sake.
Right, we finally made it to Rotherham Parkgate, and this is the final stop in this episode. And well, let's say I did film an outro at Rotherham Central, but I ended up recording it in slow motion. So we'll just have to imagine that I did say an outro, and you did make a good point about the announcements of Rotherham Central, didn't you?
I did, yes, and I think it's the same here. They still refer to it as Stagecoach Supertram.
Platform 1 for the 1531 Stagecoach Supertram service to Cathedral.
So, yeah, you haven't really got that updated.
Yeah. Anyway, so there's not really much to talk about here at Rotherham Parkgate because it's
very new. It's like it looks a lot newer than the rest of the stations. Like that's probably just because it's next to a massive industrial plant, but it looks sort of like the
new.
tarmac is newer. It's a bit lighter grey.
Well, it is new. This line opened in 2018, so that if you go, there's Google car goes on that road there. So if you go back in time on Google Maps, you can see from like 2016 to 2017, this tram stop actually being constructed.
Yeah, which is quite interesting. Welcome to another edition of the Seat Review with Willow.
Hello, welcome back to Willow's Seat Reviews. Now, this is an interesting one. So, as you remember from the last station, we had these great seats here, and these are really nice, as you saw at the last station, really sturdy seats. Anyway, last station was owned and operated by Northern, hence why they have two seats. This is the only station owned and operated by Supertram to have these seats. Therefore, this instantly makes this the best Supertram station, hands down. These seats, as I mentioned, nice, comfortable, despite their hardness. You can sit in them, like, longest you're going to be waiting is 30 minutes. They're fine. Good seats. I don't need to do a shake test on them because you already know they're super sturdy, like we saw Rotherham Central. And yeah, thank you for watching another episode of Willow Seats Reviews.
So I think what we're going to do is say goodbye to your lovely faces here, and we're going to go and get ourselves a lovely hot drink because I think we're still a bit meatball comed from Ikea.
Yes, I need a cup of tea.
So without further ado, I'm going to leave links to Ewan and Willow down below if you want to go and check them out. And that is the end of episode 2 of exploring the South Yorkshire Supertram, as it's now called. So until next time, see you later.
Cheerio. Goodbye.